This idea came from thinking about what communication looks like from a system with all the subsystems getting even more subby as they go on, and how they all communicate back upwards to each other. And the reason I brought it up is because I wanted to really push with and play with the idea of reality coming from articulation. Like when you speak and you make a request, it's like a smaller subsystem sending out communication, and the larger system would provide feedback. And our grievance is when we call out to the universe or the cosmos, we're not getting that thing from our scale returned back to us. Like if I'm talking to my best friend about something, I know my best friend's right there. That's all of her. I don't have to locate her anywhere else. But if I speak to everythingness is reflected back and communicated back via reality itself. And so it made me think, like, just entertaining the question. Obviously, it's paradoxical to think about infinity and totality itself being housed within itself, because then that would make the universal set actually expand. Like the boundary would have to expand of that, otherwise the math would break and it doesn't make sense. There'd be all this collapse. And my beautiful friend Mina wrote this. Really, it feels like a devotional to me, and I teared up reading it, so definitely go check it out. Um, and she's talking about the Shakti of a black hole, and there's mentions of it as like, the birth and like the womb aspect, especially when she has like the imagery she shows. And I've heard of black hole cosmology before, that we may come from the interior of a black hole of maybe perhaps a larger universe. And I don't know, these two ideas sort of connected together for me. It just made me wonder if, just how, let's say a cell wants to communicate to the body that something's going on, then the body will respond with so many different modes of communication to help address the issue with that cell. And if you think about, let's say, manifestation or prayer, right, you're reaching out to the super system, like the ultimate thing, and you can call that thing God. So what's it like to get communication back? And maybe this is why we only see the image of the divine in our head and our subconscious, because if the divine literally presents itself, like, then what happens to everything else that has to follow the laws of physics, And that's also what understanding this stuff with spirituality is about. It's not about breaking physics, it's about adding to it and working with it. It made me wonder if, well, everything with my cosmology is about sphere points and using that as a representational field for infinite awareness to realize itself within and through. And what if the creation of the process of a black hole being formed is kind of some way that the cosmos and its infinite creations to self-realize itself and all of its capabilities, and also paired with the fact that cosmological systems tend to go towards homeostasis and organization. There's so much structure. Well, why would you do that? Why would you want to be efficient? I mean, think about why we like to be efficient, to save time and resources, to realize more aspects of our reality. So in a similar way, I wonder if a black hole is kind of what can birth a new reality. Maybe you could consider that the universe also likes to create creations that themselves create, and create sub-universes. And maybe the attempt to go towards that route, black holes are kind of the form limit of how far you can go with having that much mass. And that collapse of a star creating this event horizon, and the laws of physics seeming to perhaps break within this black hole is, I wonder, what if it is that pre-material existence sphere point, the 0D dot, and it's kind of, in a way, trying to realize its own full image within itself. And its full image has so much mass, and as that is being created within itself, you create sort of this collapse. I feel like that sort of makes sense. What if a black hole is the universe maybe replicating its origins within itself or containing its totality within itself? And if black holes were any more extreme, then there's a chance the universe could be swallowed whole. I feel that where I've posited awareness as fundamental for the cosmos helps in resolving this black hole information paradox, because then that information is fundamental to begin with, and it's not stored in 3D bulk space-time. It comes from before that, and it is a form of that and will continue to evolve beyond that, but the information will always be there. It's just taking on a different form.